Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we are looking at the patch notes. That's right, patch note day, which is great. And as always on patch note day, the website is having some problems. But luckily someone managed to copy and paste the entire thing on the Total War forums, which is awesome. So yes, Is that an I or an L? I don't know, Sewell? Suey? I don't know. Guy, thanks. Thank you. Alright, everyone thank this guy. You're a boss. Love you. You are the best. So, yes, we're going through a copy and pasted version of the patch notes because otherwise it's going to be forever. I don't know how long the website's going to be down for. It seems worse than normal. Usually I've got in by now, but I haven't. So I'm doing this. So yeah, update highlights. So this is obviously for the, not the Rat and the Serpent, as everyone keeps calling it. No, the Prophet and the Warlock DLC plus update around it, which is awesome. So, update highlights. Massive bouncing pass to how campaigns play out. See campaign balancing section for more. Multiple new regions and provincial changes across the world in both Eye of the Vortex and Mortal Empires campaigns. I mean, that's pretty huge. There's just so many new regions and provinces everywhere. It's really cool. Notably, added the new region of Massive Orcal in Bretonia. So, there's some mountains in the middle of Bretonia, and they have a big orc settlement now. It's a one settlement province and region. It's, I think, 8 building slots. It's a big place. It's the entire province, just the one place, which is really cool. Also, new places in the Empire, including the ruin of Mordheim. If you guys have ever played any of the Mordheim games, you know Mordheim is a ruin. It sucks. It's really crap. It got destroyed by a warpstone meteorite some time ago. And so the ruins are still there, so you can repopulate that, which is really cool. AI vampire count factions now gain bloodline lords with specializations on factions. Oh, really? Oh, so AI didn't have them. I didn't realise that. Museum will focus on blood dragons. Necrarch Brotherhood will focus on Necrarchs. Strigoi will focus on Strigoi. Silverhost will focus on female Lamian. I mean, that's really cool. That's really going to mix up those factions in a good way. That is very clever, just to add that. It just helps differentiate the factions a bit, you know? So that's really cool. So, added 15 new island map variations across the world. These are available in multiplayer, by the way. That is confirmed. I have played on a lot of them. A couple were broken though, but apparently they'll be fine for release. They weren't done yet, but they were already in the list. But yeah, really cool maps. Really good maps, the ones I have seen. Added multiple new ritual currency locations in Eye of the Vortex campaign to better support the amount of new factions participating in the race. I really like the sound of that. More, quicker ritual, essentially. If you take over one continent, you're going to be getting more ritual currency, which is kind of cool. Obviously, there are more settlements and more factions to fight off nowadays, but still, that's cool. Added new location map button on the Lord Select screen so you can see where the factions start when choosing them. That's nice. I like that. It's about time we had that, because it was getting pretty tricky to work out what was what on, the 2 different campaigns and all the lords. It was crazy to know where you'd start for some of them. Especially when some of the starting locations only exist in Mortal Empires and not on the Vortex. So it's a bit awkward. Lowered availability of most agents for all factions to tier 3 or below. Okay, that's interesting. So I think lowered the availability. That just means that that agents are recruitable at an earlier point. They're available at a lower tier. So it doesn't mean lower the availability as in they are less available. It actually means they're more available or available sooner, which is cool. It's very nice to see, actually. Added Feral Cold Ones, a recruitable unit for all lizardmen from the Dinosaur Reserve building. The animal resource chain. Isn't that fun? That's a nice touch. So, getting all those dinosaur eggs, yeah, hatch a few. Lovely. So, campaign changes. Campaign AI overhaul. Removed auto-resolve bonuses for playable and horde factions controlled by AI. Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. This is a massive change, apparently. As part of our ongoing campaign balancing plans, given the number of playable lords across the world now, we feel a new approach to balance is required, and our old method of using auto-resolve bonuses is no longer sufficient. So that's interesting. So we could see some big overhauls, which is really cool. As always, we'll be closely studying our metrics and player feedback regarding campaign balance to make sure this change alongside other balancing is performing how we want. I've got to say one thing I've noticed, just from playing some Empire campaign in Mortal Empires, it's the press build, so it's, not necessarily done yet. It might not have the most up-to-date stuff, but with the extra factions, the extra settlements rather, in some of the Empire provinces, they just steamroll the vampire counts and the von Karsteins now. The vampires just get wrecked. It's the exact opposite of what was happening before. So I don't know if that's anything to do with this stuff, but it's interesting. It's different. So restructured budget allocation across the board. AI will spend its money more efficiently. Okay. Interesting. Increased general spending options in income allocation. AI will tend to spend its money more than save it. Okay, good. Good. I want to see them building stuff. Removed preferential public order bonuses for AI and improved their construction management system for public order control. So that's great. So now they're not going to cheat. And so it means if you take over a settlement, you don't have to demolish literally everything because the settlement makes no sense. Hopefully that'll be the case. It'll, you know, you can take it over and it'll be operational to an extent, which is cool. Reworked occupation option selection for Vampire Coast factions. Okay, VCI will now sack, raise, and establish pirate codes more often. That's interesting. I like that. Greater influence on their impact on the campaign and making them much more thematically aligned. That is cool. AI will no longer build multiple surplus buildings. For example, Alariel won't build too many handmaiden buildings. Vampire Coast factions won't build too many extra recruitment buildings. That is brilliant, because it's so annoying when you take over a whole region and you have the same building 3 times. It's very annoying. You just have to demolish them all. So, reduce the AI's likelihood of embedding multiple agents in the same force. See, that's good as well, because you end up with just half an army as agents, like in the late game, and it's just silly. It's so daft. So that's nice. It'll spread them out, which is cool. So we should have more interesting armies generally. AI recruitment templates upgraded across the board for Empire, Bretonnia, Skaven, Dark Elves, High Elves, Lizardmen. Nice, nice. Hopefully we'll get more variety again. High-level view of observed AI balancing across the board as follows. Endgame variance has been improved. So variety, more units, I suppose that means. Matchups are less one-sided in many areas of the map. Cool. Vampire Coast impact and average strength rank greatly reduced. Alright, I never really noticed them steamrolling, but I don't play a lot of campaign. I certainly didn't with the Vampire Coast patch. I never played a campaign that long, honestly, to tell you the truth. Multiple vampire factions performance visibly reduced. Yes. Yeah, I've noticed that. I've noticed that in just the few turns I've played in my Empire campaign. I mean, I say few, it's like 40 turns, and yeah, the Von Karsteins were wiped out, and the vampire counts were very soon to follow. So, new AI factions. New factions, guys. So, longer turn times. Oh, no. I mean, it's 3 factions out of like 50, so it's not going to make much difference, but Clan Festa, Clan Mange, and the Leaf Cutters tribe are all in here. I'm pretty sure these are basically just early things to kill with the new factions, you know, these are just early things to fight against. So I reckon these 3 will get wiped out pretty quickly in any campaign, because I'm pretty sure these are just the equivalent of like the secessionists for the Empire, right? So that makes sense. Skaven under Empire, when conquering an enemy settlement, Skaven armies now have a new post-battle option. Alongside loot and occupy, sack and raise, the army may now choose to expand under Empire. This leaves the settlement intact, but establishes a new Skaven undercity beneath it. So good. I love this mechanic. Yeah, if you have a look at my campaign, I'm making use of it, so you can see how it works. I go through some of the items and, well, the building slots and stuff available with the Undercity thing. So with 4 building slots, an Undercity is a powerful addition to your infrastructure, but the more it is developed, the greater risk that it'll be discovered. If discovered, it will be demolished. I don't know exactly how that goes. I don't know if it'll just be a pop-up saying it's gone. I haven't actually had one discovered yet. I've been too careful. Maybe I should be less careful and we can test that. But you guys will be able to figure it out tomorrow, I guess. You know, releasing soon. So, building changes. Changed warp fire thrower team's secondary building unlock requirement to use engineering 1 rather than 2 building. Makes sense. They kind of suck. They should be an earlier purchase, you know. They just don't make sense for a late game thing. So that makes a lot more sense. I like that. That's very cool. So, moved Croc scores from level 3 to 4, so Croc scores are a little bit higher up the food chain, but of course that makes way for the new red-crested skinks and things, I imagine. So moved Pterodons, fire leech bonus from level 3 to 4. Alright, cool. I guess Ripidactyls fit somewhere in there too. Removed secondary building requirement from Pterodons, fire leech boot. Okay, that's good. So you just need the 1 building. It's a higher level, but it's just the 1 building. So that's really nice, because I hate when you have to build multiple buildings for things. It's really, really annoying. Moved Bastilla Revivification Crystal to level 4 Sotec building chain, as well as the Solar Engine as level 4 Old Ones building chain. Very cool. Revivification Crystal and Bastilla Solar Engine now have secondary building requirement of level 1 Beasts building chain. Okay, it's only level 1 building, so alright, that's cool. Added Feral Cold Ones, a recruitable unit from the Dinosaur Reserve building, Animal Resource chain. I feel like we've already gone through that. I feel like we've already mentioned that. Maybe not. Maybe I read that on Discord. Anyway, that's nice. I like that. So, Eye of the Vortex. Added tip of Lustria, new region to the Capes. So, yep, new faction in Eye of the Vortex. Well, not new faction, new region. New region, 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 new region. Oh no, renamed. Oh, okay. Southern Red Rivers. Oh, because there's probably a north one now, is there? So yeah, just more and more new provinces. I mean, that is huge, right? That is a lot. That is really cool. And Immortal Empires, again, huge amounts. So Massive Orcal. Yep, that one I've mentioned is in Bretonnia, in the mountains. But also, Kappelberg and Krugenheim have both been added to Talabeclan, so that's now 4. That's now 4 settlements in one province, which is really cool. It makes them really powerful. Same with Ostermark here, Nagenhof and Mordheim. Mordheim does start out in ruins, but still, they get a leg up. They have a whole extra region, which is amazing. These actually help them compete. It lets them support more armies, and that's why the vampire counts are getting a bit screwed over now, but it is nice that just Talabeclan and Ostermark and, well, Stirland still only has the 2 and one is the Moot. They still get wrecked. But, yeah, it's pretty great to see. It's nice to see some Empire factions performing, you know, when you're not controlling them. So this is really nice. Also, Tlaqua, Quzotl, I don't know, maybe. And the Wellsprings of Eternity, also Mountain Pass has been added. So there'll be more ways to get into the, sort of through the mountains, which is nice. I like that. Because I found the mountains were kind of annoying if you didn't have something like the Underway to be able to travel. It was very awkward for, say, the Lizardmen to get around. So that's nice. An extra, you know, pass in the mountain range. So yeah, ton of new provinces. Very cool. Character skill revisions. So lowered as a Skullmuncher mount unlock rank from 22 to 14. That is gigantic. And thank God, because he needs to be on Skullmuncher. He really does. 22 is ridiculous. That's like late game stuff. That's ridiculous. So yeah, 14, that is lovely. This, I think, might be my favourite change. Separated Skink Chief and Skink Priest Stegodon and Ancient Stegodon mounts to separate skills. Okay, I see. Separate skills. How's that work? I don't know. I have no idea. But I guess that there's some separation there in skills. Separated Crocgun's Cold One and Horned One mounts to separate skill. Oh, right, yeah, because you had a Cold One, you leveled that up, and then you had to put another level in it to turn it into a Horned One. Yeah, okay, it was 2 levels in the same skill tree, and it upgraded it. Yeah, so I like that. It means you don't have to spend 2 skill points on one mount. So that's really good. That's really good. Especially for like Crocgar, when you never get a Horned One, because you'd just rather wait, wouldn't you? You'd just rather wait than get Grimlock. So anyway, change Rune Lord Runesmith Oath Gold skill from 1, 2, 3 Oath Gold generated to 3 and 6 Oath Gold generated. Okay, so more Oath Gold for them, I suppose, and less points you need to spend in order to get that much. So that's good, because Oath Gold, yeah, it's not that valuable to waste 3 skill points on, I feel. So, miscellaneous changes. Adjusted all Lisbon Skaven unit textures for consistency. Interesting. Strategic location icon now matches the style of the landmark building group icon. An obelisk. Makes sense. Makes sense. Remove Rights Guard Smith requirement. So Rights Guard are going to be easier to recruit now, which is really good because they're awesome and they need to be recruited more. Fix Red Duke to use the Blood Dragon version of the Barded Nightmare in campaign to match with custom battles. That's nice. Added cooldown display to all agent actions with a cooldown. So that's really nice. There is a 10-turn cooldown for the installing an Undercity with Skaven agents. I don't know if it's per agent though. I'm not sure yet. I only have the one agent still in any campaign I played. So fix an issue where low loyalty advice would trigger on a legendary lord. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Legendary lords shouldn't have low loyalty. They're legendary lords. Fix a number of followers that were not dropping. Cool. More followers. Always nice to have more variety. Gunnery White Hero not having the bomb throw ability. Well, you gotta have the bomb throw ability. Added all text references of Skaven Underworld to become Skaven Under Empire. Cool. It makes more sense because the mechanic is called the Under Empire, so you want to, you know, reflect that properly, you know. So, Blessed Spawnings. When you begin a new Lisbon campaign after the Doomsayer update, there are now 4 different mission types for Blessed Spawning missions. Battle Captives, kill entities, raise sack, and defeat X armies. Each of these mission types has a common and a rare variant. Variants have the same conditions for completion, but the common variant rewards common units, and the rare unlocks uncommon and rare units. These missions should not be active at the same time. Furthermore, each mission type has 3 campaign stage variants for early, mid, and late game. All these do is change the mission requirements to complete them, e.g. 500 kills in early game, 1500 in the late game, etc. This makes for a total of 24 potential missions for Blessed Spawnings. I like that. So, yeah, they've thought about this. You know, they're like, well, we've got Regiment's Renown now. Let's mix this up to make this a little bit more meaningful. So I like that, because, yeah, having a mixture of Blessed Spawnings and Regiment's Renown, the variety in the armies is huge now. It's really cool. So, battle changes. Alberic has a trident. Yep, he actually has a trident. He carries it around. He's got animations with it. Removed Barded Warhorse option from custom battles for all damsels to match with mounts on offer in the campaign. Okay. Okay, did they not have Barded Warhorse options? I guess not. I guess not. But fair enough. You don't really want them in combat anyway, so Barded Warhorse is just a waste of money, really. I don't think I've ever bothered to get one. Fix some cases where skipping the intro cutscene in a quest battle would not center the camera behind the player's army. Okay, I don't really mind. That doesn't seem like a big deal to me. Bretonnia rework, the vows. So they've removed the existing Bretonnia vow skills from all characters, in conjunction with the new Bretonian vows system. So, no more skills, right? You don't get vows just by spending a skill point. Nope, that's not the case. So there's also been some recruitment changes. They removed secondary building requirements of Armory building chain or Carpenter's building chain from all Bretonian units. So all the Bretonian units are going to be available better, and that's going to help the AI out so much, because it means that AI can actually recruit a bunch of different stuff, because, you know, they never tend to build the combos required to get variety in their army. So this is lovely. This is a great change. Like most of these changes, they're better for the AI than for us. You know, for us it's just like, oh, well, that's easier. But it means the AI will be fielding much better armies. You know, much more variety. They'll have, you know, more tools to deal with more things, rather than just spamming one unit. So that's great. That is really good. Bretonnian technology changes. So, God, these are pretty extensive, huh? So, King of the Mountains diplomacy. Diplomacy. What? Alright. I don't know what this does. I think these are just like, yeah, be cool with... Oh, yes, I see. So, King of the Mountains, that means dwarves are going to be nice to you. Leaders of Men, so that's going to be Empire, Marienburg, Southern Rails, and Kislev. King of the Desert, that's going to be Tomb Kings, Arthur Lauren, Wood Elves, Decrees of Bretonnia. It'll get you Chivalry, melee attack and charge modes for Lords and Embedded Heroes, and revised stuff of existing. So these were all just not in there. These are all new techs, which is cool. So you can just get pally with a lot of different factions now. So also revised stuff. Ruinous Powers Decree, decoupled from Norscan tribes now. So it's not Norska anymore. I think that's somewhere else now. Maybe. You know what, guys? You can just read through this stuff. I don't know Bretonnia well enough to know exactly how this will affect it or how it's changed in campaign. So yeah, I'll let you guys read this if you want to. But it's changed a lot of things, just slightly, little tweaks. Made it a little bit more streamlined, which is good. So, you know, quicker research for a lot of things as well, because that way you're not spending all of your time in the early game just trying to confederate with people. Because it takes so long to research, you know, the confederation with all the different units. Because that's what these do. These let you confederate with each of the different other dukedoms. So it's nice to be able to just deal with that early. So quicker turns, it's good. Because it should be more, you win them over, right? To get them to confederate. You shouldn't have to waste too much time doing research on that. So I like that. Also, increased income bonuses for the economy types from technologies, which I like. Because income can be a bit of a nuisance. Peasant economy changes. So peasant mob upkeep reduced by minus 100%. So basically, if you're not over the peasant economy cap, peasant mobs are free to upkeep. I mean, they're pretty rubbish upkeep anyway, but it means that if you've got like a big amount free, you can just summon a ton of peasant mobs and just add some chaff to your army, which is kind of cool. I like that. It's a nice change. Diplomacy changes. Added new confederation dilemmas that trigger after researching the heraldry technologies. So that's really fun. So allowing instant but costly confederation options. So these are things like give them a ton of chivalry or give them a lot of money, and I think there's one other thing. You can do a few different things in order to confederate now, which is kind of cool. It actually gives you a choice. So there's different costs to it. But I think you can just do nothing and still just offer them it in diplomacy if you like. I think that's still something that's possible, but it's nice to have some dilemmas, honestly. So removed at-war conflict with Carcassonne and Yvresse. Added at-war conflict between Carcassonne and the Dreadfleet, added at-war conflict between Bordelot and the Dreadfleet, and Bordelot and Sartosa. So this is nice. So basically, because Vampire Coast exists, and, you know, they're going to be harassing Bretonnia a fair bit, it just means that Bretonnia are at war with them instead of each other now, which is kind of cool. Well, actually, Yvresse, I mean, that's an awful one. It's odd that Carcassonne was at war with Yvresse. Seems kind of weird, but that's been removed now, which is good. So that's nice. Because, I mean, Yvresse are busy fighting, I think, the Dreadfleet and Sartosa and things anyway, right? They're they're still getting attacked on the coast. So that's all a lot better. It makes more sense thematically. So reduced the penalty of Lisbon versus Lisbon aversion for AIs that are internally hostile. So that's good. So Lisbon won't be fighting Lisbon quite as often. They have a lot of other things to fight. So added Lisbon versus Lisbon affinity of plus 20% to internally friendly AIs. So again, just helped keeping Lisbon from fighting Lisbon constantly. So that's good. They have enough threats to deal with outside of their own species. So yeah, all part of the great plan, guys. Green Knight. You're given unlimited charges as a Green Knight when level 5. So it used to be you'd max out Chivalry and you might spend all your Green Knight charges. Now you can summon him again and again and again. Still be the same cooldowns though. The cooldown has in fact been increased, I think. Oh yeah, he's actually available for longer. That's nice because yeah, the Green Knight being such a short duration and thing, it just I always was always sat on a load of charges because I didn't want to waste them on something that was pointless. So I ended up finishing a campaign with like 4 charges left because I just didn't see the point of using him. So this just encourages you to use him more, which I really like. Removed all standard campaign agent skills from Green Knight except for Search Ruins and Embedded Army. Okay, I don't know what other things he had, but alright, that makes sense. Given Green Knight immunity to agent assassination against him. So he can't get assassinated. Good, because, I mean, come on, he's a Green Knight. Character mount changes. All Bretonnian Lords, Paladins, and Alberic's start on barded horses, which is amazing. This is, I mean, why would Bretonnian Lords be running in on foot? It made no sense. So all of them being mounted now is really cool. Damned Paladin for the Drowned faction now starts on a boarded horse. Okay, interesting. I like that too. So even on Silostra's faction, the Damned Paladin starts in the mount as well, which makes sense. Again, he's a Paladin, although a bit broken. But he's a Paladin. Bretonnia campaign balance changes. Improved Bretonnian garrisons. Good. Good. Very nice. New Greenskin settlement. Massive Orcal. Yep. So that is their incursion event, if you guys recall from Bretonnia. For the first, 20 turns, your control, which is their equivalent of public order, is rubbish, and it keeps spawning armies of greenskins, which is really annoying. And the way to get rid of that, if you want to get rid of it early, I always just farm it for experience for all of my lords and heroes. But if you want to get rid of it, you had to destroy a greenskin faction. You had to destroy a greenskin settlement. But there was only one in the north by Lewin, and if you're playing as Carcassonne or Bordelot, Lewin would usually just destroy it in the first few turns, and then you wouldn't be able to get rid of the event. It was a bit annoying. So now there's Massive Orcal, which is actually a much more difficult thing to fight, but it's more of a challenge. It's more interesting. It's definitely more interesting, sort of gameplay-wise. It's a bigger, cooler thing to fight, to face off against. It can be a genuine threat, which is really nice. So moderately increased the amount of income for Bretonnia buildings, reduced the cost of Bretonnian economy buildings. That's nice, just means the economy can get up and running quicker, which is good. Added even greater differentiation between economy types, farm and industry. Added effects of smithy building chain, now that it no longer unlocks units. So I forget what it does exactly. I think add some stats to some units. I think it might be faction-wide as well. So yeah, I think you can stack those if you keep building. It's simple. It's really small things like +2 armor or something. And effects to carpentry building as well. So yeah, it's similar things. The smithy is +2 armor per building for all knights or something. It's yeah, small bonuses, but they add up. So it removed Kemmler's starting corruption in Bretonnia when he is AI controlled. Okay, so I kind of like that. It means if you are Kemmler, then there's some corruption nearby, so you can expand a little bit quicker. But if not, it means he's just a threat there, and he's not going to ruin your campaign if you're not at war with him or anything. So it's kind of nice. Adjusted Kemmler's personality to be more defensive, so he conquers less Bretonnians. Again, I like that. He should just be this threat in the mountains that comes out occasionally to be a bother. So that's cool. So, audio. Added new group vocalizations for Skaven's King Sensorus. I don't really know what that entails, but thanks, I guess. Rattling gunners will sometimes be overcome with verminous glee when firing. Reworked and fixed multiple areas of group system. Okay, I like that. The grouping thing has broken for me a bit from time to time. It can be a bit annoying. You have to quickly ungroup and group because a group will just get stuck to your cursor. Even if you've selected other units, it'll just command that group. You get weird problems like that. So that's good. That's good. Ranged, I don't know if that's particularly fixed, but, if they're fixing things with a group system, I imagine it's fixing bugs of that nature. So, ranged units now play group idle vocalizations. Okay, cool. Fix some issues with disengaging from melee. Actually, wait, this is all actually audio, so I guess it's not grouping like that, is it? Can't be. Anyway, I don't know what that is then. So, cool. Fix some issues with units disengaging from melee or moving through each other. This doesn't seem like audio to me. I think this might be the wrong way around. There's an error there. Okay, never mind. I think battle is supposed to be under here. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Anyway, fix some issues with units disengaging from melee or moving through each other, where they would re-trigger the collision group. Foley? Okay. Or collision group. And then Foley, is that another heading? I don't know. Added a new active casting system for the Screaming Bell. Ark of Sotek, Engine of the Gods, changing the audio whilst that unit is casting a spell. So the Screaming Bell does actually ring the bell now, which is really awesome. It rings, which sounds great. It's really cool. And I imagine they've done similar things there, just having that new like audio tied to casting, which is really cool. I like that. I very much like that. When casting, the Screaming Bell now makes, yep, bigger bongs. Yeah, there we go. Please, Horn Rat. Added new warp lightning firing projectile sweeteners, and for Bone Breakers melee attacks. More zap zap. Alright, cool. Added new melee impact sounds for two-handed hammers and maces. Nice. Cut out the tongues from the council guard. Keep council secrets safe. Yes, yes. Which makes sense. Yeah, they're supposed to be mute, I believe. So, yeah, not having them speak makes a lot of sense. Disabled some non-Slanesh god-specific lines for Sigvold. Makes sense. Makes sense, because he shouldn't be going on about Khorne. That's not his thing. Change the attenuation of conversational dialogue. Okay. Fixed battle order VO suppressing unit vocalizations. Rebalance some ability sounds. Campaign. Fix some start selection VO for Skaven Lord. Set diplomacy VO to always play in 2D. I don't really know what that means. I guess sometimes you could hear it in one ear rather than the other. I'm not sure. Adjusting time of Skaven food gained UI element. Turned down campaign building fires. And reworked some idle vocalizations for Skrog and Tretch. And added new idle troops for Skaven Lords. Okay, so I think we'll call this part 1. And we'll call the next thing Part 2. Thank you for doing even more, buddy. Cyril, whatever your name is. So we'll call that Part 1 campaign, shall we? And we'll do number 2 will be battle, because these will be spells and stuff as well. So this is relevant to multiplayer. So we're going to do that. So this will be campaign changes, and we'll do multiplayer in a second. So guys, if you enjoyed this, then please do comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.